is that big for you, or is it something you want to be big? Do you like the modeling process and walking in front of people and wearing cool clothes and all that kind of vibe?
Well, I was a hair model first.
A hair model. Okay, well, that doesn't surprise me at all. You have the greatest afro I've seen in a long time.
Help me, kids, keep my hair nice and curly.
I bet. Does that take a lot of management, Mom?
Yes.
Yes, they both say yes, solid. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Living in the Limelight. I'm your host, Jay Huller. As a quick reminder, please follow us on Instagram at Living in the Limelight Show and check out our website at livinginthelimelight.com. And of course, you can find our podcast through all the major streaming services, including Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Each week, we feature a conversation with a different artist where we delve into what makes them tick, and sometimes we get pro tips on pursuing a career as an artist. If you're a performer who would like to be considered for our show, check out the questionnaire at livinginthelimelight.com. And thanks, of course, so much for listening. Today, we have the fortune to speak with Tah'Chon Mills, otherwise known as Lil Boss. This 7-year-old artist is not your typical kid. Rather, he's an author, actor, model, and singer. He has several movie credits under his belt and is the author of I Am a Superhero. He has several songs currently streaming, including Lil Boss and his most recent release, He Never Fails. Enjoy this conversation with Tah'Chon and his mom as we explore what makes him such a special artist and an inspiration to so many.
Hello.
Hi, is this Tah'Chon's mom?
Yes, it is.
Awesome. It is so great to have you guys on Living in the Limelight. Welcome.
Good morning.
It's so amazing. I was just basically doing a perusal of some things that he's been involved with. And I want to say, instead of quadruple threat, I want to say quintuple threat. And I'm not even sure that's the right word, but I'm looking at acting, singing, modeling as the primary for sure. Author, we have to include in there.
Yes.
And I see that he's also loving dancing. So how can you get all that out of a 6-year-old?
We're now 7-year-old.
7. I've always had a birthday since. Oh, my goodness.
Yes, just had a birthday January 3rd.
Oh, my goodness. Well, happy birthday.
Thank you.
That's amazing. Yeah. So where did all this start? Where was like the when maybe you as a parent or Tah'Chon, when you like, hey, I think I like being out in front of people and I like doing stuff. And was there like a moment, or has it sort of been a little bit, I can't even say gradual because it has been that many years, but do you remember a time?
Yes.
Can you tell me about it?
I always loved singing.
You've always loved singing? Uh-huh.
I was 4 years old.
And what kind of songs do you remember singing at that time?
Gospel.
Gospel songs. So you had gospel songs playing in the house and at church, and that was like running through your head?
Yes.
Is that your favorite style of music?
Yes.
Awesome. And do you have other styles that you kind of like listen to sometimes?
Yes.
What kinds of those? Like pop?
Just kids pop.
Uh-huh. That's really amazing. Do you like, have you ever picked up any instruments? Have you ever like touched the piano or maybe picked up a ukulele? No? Do you think that might be something you'll do in the future?
Yes.
Oh, I can certainly envision it because it seems like when you start.
I'll play the saxophone.
Say that again?
I want to play the saxophone.
The saxophone. Oh, that is an elegant instrument, and it's one that you can take with you too. That's what I like about the guitar and saxophone, or the certain instruments you can just kind of go to a corner and play and see who listens, right?
Yes.
So cool. Well, tell me a little bit about like, I know you love to sing. Do you the modeling part of it, is that big for you, or is it something you want to be big? Do you like the modeling process and walking in front of people and wearing cool clothes and all that kind of vibe?
Well, I was a hair model first.
A hair model. Okay, well that doesn't surprise me at all. You have the greatest afro I've seen
So
in a
I
long time.
told me kids keep my hair nice and curly.
Ah, I bet. Does that take a lot of management, Mom?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yes, they both say yes, solid.
It's a whole day worth of
Oh,
shampoo and condition, detangle, separating the hair. Yeah, it's a process.
it's a process. Oh my goodness. And I did see in the notes that you guys will be headed to New York. Would that be the same show that's on his IMDb page that talks about it's Fashion Week in New York and has
Yeah,
like okay.
yeah. So did go last year, and he had some designers, different designers too, reach out to him this year
Ooh.
and to walk for them. So he enjoyed walking. It shows his personality. You don't have to do too much of talking. Where he don't do any talking on the runway,
Right.
and that can be challenging for him sometimes. But he enjoyed walking and showing different styles. So
Absolutely. Is there a certain style of clothing that when like a designer approaches and he's like, "Oh, that fits my vibe," the
um,
way, you know,
in suits, they put them in suits or whatever
uh,
culture they're with, because right now he'll be walking for one that's for the Philippines, and
yeah, because I mean, he has a look. It's just a signature encapsulating look. Like when I see pictures of him all over the place, I'm like, "Yep, I recognize him."
yeah,
And
he loves wearing bow ties, suspenders, and his
uh,
afro. Yeah, he loves it. So that's
very
kind of his.
cool. And when you guys are in New York, besides the performing or the walking time, are you able to like take in the sights and enjoy some of the area?
Yes, I definitely take him to different storefronts. He loves the um theaters. We go there. It's a big candy shop I take him into, and just different souvenirs and museums are there, and it shows he get a chance to actually see different things that way.
Oh yeah, I've been to New York a few times. My sister lives there. It's a vibrant city, and it's fun of or full of all sorts of you turn around and there's something else to do. That's kind of what I like about it.
Yeah, yeah.
And Central Park is great to kind of stroll through, and then all the historic sites. But that
Mhm.
is so cool. Yeah, and that's going to be a stark contrast from Warner Robins, which I guess would transition us a little bit into the recent. Oh, was it a recent award, City Youth Ambassador of 2022?
He did. He received an award, which was very surprising, and he was excited about it.
What is that? How does that happen? And what was the process like? When did you get a phone call one day or?
Well, we're always doing different things in the city
Hmm.
anyway. So, some things that we do is we give back. We give back a lot. So, to nonprofit organization, and it started just before COVID started. So we give back to the Genesis House here in Warner Robins, the
Okay.
Habitat of Humanity, the Rainbow House, which is for I think it's more like for sexual assaulted children, and then
Mm.
Sacred Heart. And so they just see different things he doing. We pay visits up to the city hall. We may take snacks up there to them. He loves police officers. We take treats and snacks there. But so he does a lot. We have unofficially adopted a road that we cleaned up once a month.
Oh, that's
Um,
so cool.
yes, and then he have fostered into this thing called "Are You Okay?" And that's where we go into the nursing home, assisted living homes, and he plays bingo. He reads them books, and they really love it. And so the mayor and her people, I guess they seen him and asked him to come there, and we came, and to my surprise, he was awarded.
That is so amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
and Tah'Chon, I wanted to kind of talk to you on this a little bit since your mom mentioned it. So you have a very busy calendar. Like I don't envision you get up and say, "Well, I just want to lay around all day and play video games." It seems like you have a a atypical or not typical schedule for most kids. Do you like being busy? Do you like doing all these like cool
Yes,
things? You do?
yes.
That's neat. What's your favorite thing? Like when you wake up in the morning and you're thinking about your day, what are you most looking forward to doing?
Giving back.
Giving back. So you like going to all the places and helping out others?
Yes.
That is so cool because, there are some kids probably around here that don't often think of that. And then you have a blessing with your mom and parents there to tell you, "Hey, let's go do this," and like give you those opportunities. Do you get like really fulfilled
Read
and
at school too.
Yeah.
you read at schools too?
Yes.
Yeah, he goes to the schools and read. That's what he's saying.
Oh, that is so cool. And do you like reading in front of people?
Yes.
Well, I know that you're an author too. Could you talk to me a little bit about your superhero book?
Yes.
What is that about?
Me.
You. Well, tell me, so when I look at you and let's think about it, like the superheroes, you've got Iron Man and Superman and all those with the capes and the flying, but you're a kid, right? So tell me how you're a superhero, because I believe it. I know you are, but explain to people listening, like how can a normal person be a superhero?
All superheroes don't wear capes.
They don't. Okay, so that's kind of like an assumed thing. So you have no cape. So tell me about your superhero-ness.
Just because I know how to do my chores.
Oh, that is a big one, actually, because some kids don't. Are there some other things that maybe you do to help the world? 'Cause isn't that kind of like what a superhero does? They go to where the problems are and they help.
Yes.
And that you do a lot of that. You're reading to kids in school. You're singing songs of inspiration. You are showing off cool clothes. Those are all kind
I
of super.
told them how important it is time to start reading early.
Uh-huh. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
Yes.
I did read about that. So that was a kind of like a tough beginning for you when you weren't like speaking for a few years, but I think you're kind of making up for that now, right? You're singing, you're doing all these things. It almost seems like to me, tell me if I'm
I
wrong.
I still have a long way to go.
Oh yeah. Oh, I know we all do. If you listen to my podcast, you'll be like, "Wait, I don't even think that's a word that he said." So I absolutely, yeah, I totally get it. And you have come a long way. And especially if
Yes.
you think about from 3.5 to 7 now, that's half your life. And look at all you're doing. You've got a book out and you're singing. You've got to be like a little bit proud, right? Don't you feel good about what you've done?
Guess what? I'm going to Jamaica and Cayman Island.
I read about that. Now tell me, your book is in the Cayman Island Public Library right now, right?
Right.
And you're going to go there and read. I think I read in the credits. This might be too much detail,
Right.
but you were thanking your aunts for being like facilitating that. So do you have family in the Cayman Islands?
Yes.
Yes.
Ah, well, tell me about that and tell me about this trip you have planned.
So he would actually, when they sent out the dates, because they have like a family night at the library,
Mm-hmm.
too. So he would be reading during family night, his book as well as any other book I guess they want him to read. And he's also invited to a primary school there. So that's something he really don't know. But again, he knows now. So
More secrets.
they're definitely waiting to meet him when he gets there, as well as Jamaica, as the book has made it over to Jamaica as well. So he'll be going to 2 primary schools there reading. And not only, will he be reading, he'll be telling them in his own words how important it is to about early literacy.
Yeah, you're preaching to the choir on that one. My wife teaches reading, and I've been an educator my entire life, so we absolutely totally get that. And yeah, the earliest you can get it, literacy is like it's the key. It's the key to everything. It opens up the whole entire world for you, right?
To be the best reader to start reading it just helps with your vocabulary, and which was something that was very challenging with him with no words. So it's important.
Absolutely. Well, that is so cool. So how long will this trip be that you guys are going to do some island hopping?
Yes. Well, we're looking at maybe 4 days top on each trip. Trip at most. Yeah.
Well, that's good. Yeah. And
have to make it back home.
Of course. Yeah. These are such great opportunities. So we know about New York. We know he's going to be doing some really cool traveling. That's so amazing for a 7-year-old. Tah'Chon, do you like airplanes? Do you like to travel? Do you like to go around and see new things?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
That's so amazing. What do you do like when you first arrive in a place? Are you full of energy, or do you like, oh, I'm so tired. Let's take a nap before we get ready to go?
I danced the whole time in the airport.
You danced the whole time in the airport?
Yes.
You are that like excited to do it, right?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, you must be a bundle of energy.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
He's actually dancing and singing now. Calm down, Tah'Chon.
It doesn't surprise me at all. Well, Tah'Chon, you want to talk music a little bit?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, tell me a little bit about He Never Fails. Like maybe a lot of people I talk to on this show they're recording artists, and they go in the studio and they help produce with work, and they talk about the process. What's it like for you as a 7-year-old, or maybe as a 6-year-old at the time when you did that song? What was it like to be in the studio or wherever you were and in front of the microphone and concentrating on the words and how to sing it? Is that fun for you?
Yeah. Sometimes it's scary.
What's scary about it?
Because I can't get my words out.
Okay, so when you go through like a certain take and then the words didn't come out, do you maybe get a little frustrated?
Yeah, and he has to do it over again. But I tell him to, slow down, because to some people, they probably cannot hear the delay, but it's there.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're actually trying to get it so that the message can be delivered, it can be a tad bit frustrating. But I think you like singing, right?
Right.
Oh, okay. He likes it. It just has to be almost too perfect to pick up the actual words that he needs to say so the message can be delivered.
I can understand that completely.
Yeah.
I really can.
Because if you can't understand the words, then it's just really not a message. And I don't allow the auto-tune, because it takes away from everything he's speaking about. Like, how can you speak on autism awareness or speech delay if you're covering up all the flaws?
Interesting. So he likes to be authentic with it.
Yes. So you'll hear some of the words and how he's pronouncing them. But I mean, when I say clear it up, just clear it up so you can hear it. So he may have to say, let's just say the word first. Just keep saying it over till you get it.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't change the way he sounds at all, because we don't want to be, hypocritical. Like, it's okay to be this. It's okay to be you. And then we got you sounding like something totally different.
I applaud that. I think that's amazing because, we all have special abilities, and we all bring what we have to the table, and to honor that and to embrace it and use it. And he certainly, he is using it, right? I think that's admirable. Really, really cool. So back to kind of the frightening part, because I always like to try to get in the heads a little bit of the performers I talk to, because way back in the day, Tah'Chon, you might not know this, but I was a drummer, And I loved performing and I loved creating music, and it's that rhythms have always been kind of like a part of my DNA. But I kind of went on and didn't do the performance life. I did a different kind of life, and there's a part of me that kind of misses that, I think. And so I get to, when I talk to artists like you, I get to relive it. Like I get to live through you, even in the frustrating parts. So Tah'Chon, when you're in the scary part and you have to redo it, do you get to talk to yourself in your own mind and say, you know what, I am a superhero, I can do this? Do you kind of motivate yourself and get yourself going?
I trust God and never give up.
Ooh, that is a huge one. I love that. And that kind of talks to a quote I found. I don't know if you wrote it or if it was somewhere someone wrote about you, but it says, if you can dream it, you can be it.
Can be it. Yes.
Is that something
Yes.
you believe firmly?
Yes.
Yes.
I do too. Yeah, because we as humans are capable of accomplishing just almost anything we put our minds to, right? And it seems like you've overcome a lot.
Yes.
That is so cool. So when you were in the studio recording He Never Fails and you're getting through all the parts and everything, when you finished with that song, were you like super happy and super relieved and like, yay, look what I've done?
Oh my God, I cried.
You cried, but it was tears of joy.
Yes.
Yes.
I bet you danced too.
Yes. I love her.
Oh, and when that song comes on, like when you hear it on Spotify or if you're around and someone's playing it,
Yes.
well, how do you feel?
Good.
You feel good? Do you kind of go, hey, that's something that I have brought to the world?
That song is very important to me.
Tell me why.
To tell him why.
I don't know.
To do. He don't like it. You know, you got to tell him why. Tell him.
Remember, I said he will never talk.
We don't talk. Yeah.
We don't talk.
Yeah, he was told he'll never talk. So, he, I talked to him about that, and I tell him that, he never fails. We just got to trust, because he went and still do go to a lot of speech therapies.
Mm-hmm.
And just keep him motivated. You keep him motivated, because he can catch himself sometime when I guess he's thinking the word, but they don't come out. Because when people are talking to him or asking him a question, I think he's actually thinking what he wants to say, and they repeat it, so it's kind of frustrating. So I'll just kind of intervene and say, give him a little time, because he's a big talker, but sometimes it's just, don't know, because I can't really speak. Yes, it just doesn't come out quick enough for who's ever speaking, I think. I don't know.
No, that's actually, I think that's the definition of speech delay right there, is your mind is
great. So, you have to give it time to come out,
So I'd love to back up just a little bit, because what you said has completely thrown me and affected me. So were you told by medical professionals that he would never speak?
Yes. In the beginning, he wasn't, when I have to really stop saying he wasn't really talking, because he wasn't talking at all. When you get to the point in the ages and stages where you might, doing the cooing in the car, and he didn't do any of that. So when he did start speaking, it was more of just like sounds, which I appreciate, because I'm like, okay, we're getting somewhere. And that was round 3, and then took him over to school. He was in a special education class, and they worked heavily with him there on different things, just everyday challenging and age appropriate things. And then he started speaking more, and up until now, but he still takes speech classes.
Yeah, because it's
and
not
he
something.
Speak. I mean, he was using a like this laptop board. Like if he needed like simple commands, he would mash the little keyboard. But he didn't stay on that long. I mean, it was a lot of praying, and you know, it was a lot. But he do speak now, so we know he is not mute. And I tell anybody that whether they're adults now or still have children like that, in the event that they never speak, you make sure you're an advocate for your children.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have to, and never let nobody give an opinion for them. Let it come from you. You know, it's just very personal when it comes to that.
I totally get that. And it's just amazing that the story there with, and Tah'Chon, I think it's kind of like in my mind, it's like a catch-up game. Like you're running a race, and your mind has been processing. You've been listening. You've been hearing all that gospel music. You've been absorbing what people have been saying around you, and your body was just like, you know what? I think it's time. And at 3.5, you started, right? And now you're running your race, and you're gonna do really great things for this world and contribute in all the ways that you've contributed. And I think that's inspirational. Really is for a lot of people.
Yes, it is.
It's superhero like, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Very cool. So what is your do you guys have at your house, Tah'Chon, when you do like, and you have an idea for a song or something, do you sit down at a little place in your house with a microphone and the way to generate music? Do you have like a little studio, or do you kind of just sing out loud what you wanted to do when you get it on
I
paper?
think stuff over and over.
Gotta give him time.
That's okay. I was pretty much there. So do you have a place at your house to record?
Over and over. Then my mom has to write it.
So you have your spots to do your stuff.
Yeah, so what he's saying is he just starts singing stuff over and over, and then I write it. I kind of write what he sings, because sometimes we could be in the car or whatever, but we don't have like just a designated spot at the house.
Mm-hmm.
But he just sing in his quiet little space wherever he is.
Yeah, he just lets the inspiration strike where it is, and luckily he's got you to kind of transcribe it down.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool. Yeah, it's funny. I wish we all kind of had someone like you when we had our ideas to kind of just have someone to write it and document it, because they go in and out, right?
Yes, it does.
Well, that's good. So take us now to kind of the future. So you're 7, Tah'Chon, and you have ideally like a huge life ahead of you. What do you, if I gave you, Tah'Chon, have you ever heard of those like crystal balls, like to see the future?
Yeah.
Okay, let's imagine you have one of those, or maybe your mom has one and she's holding it, and that's your future is kind of in there. And what do you want to see like yourself do on down the road when you get older?
Change the mind of at least one child.
Change the mind of at least one child. Like in terms of
Another one to never give up.
to encourage them to never give up.
Cool.
That's a huge goal. That's a huge goal, because we are all here for a reason, right? We're here to do something. And it sounds like you want the big dream of just being a positive influence on the world. I would say you've done that already, but you're looking to do it more, right?
Right.
Okay. Yeah, because I don't know. I certainly, at 7 years old, I wasn't nearly like you. I didn't have anything. I didn't have books. I didn't have songs that I'd created. I was just kind of being a kid. And you've done so much already that I think that you can kind of scale that up as you go and continue to do good in the world. And you're gonna be a huge influence on down the road. Do you believe that's true?
Yes.
I do too. It sounds like you've got some great support with your family and all these opportunities. And I just you're 7 and you've got an IMDb page and you have movie credits. Do you want to talk about the movies a little bit too? I saw that.
Yeah.
Talk about any of your movie experiences.
Tell them about the movies you've been in.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yes.
Tell me about that one. What do you remember?
No, it hasn't come out yet, so he really can't speak on it.
Okay.
And the purple.
Yeah, and the Color Purple is going to be released in 2023.
Yes.
Can you talk about that?
And the Resident.
Say that again.
And the Resident.
Ah, okay, yeah. All these things that you've done. You're just such a busy person.
Yes.
What is it like to work on a movie? Because I've never done it. And I've not really even been on set to see a movie filmed. What do you do?
What you do?
I talk.
You talk. So they give you some things to say and you think about it, kind of like your songs, and you
on movies. You got to remember the script and act.
Script. Act.
Do you like learning the scripts?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine, because then once
I didn't use my paper.
you get to use your paper?
He said he don't need to use his paper. He said he memorized.
Oh, so you got it. Yes, of course, because you're a professional.
Yeah.
Yeah, we wouldn't want you holding the paper up. So, give me a second, right? So you take the time to learn it and practice it, right?
Right.
Do you practice it with your mom? Like when you get your script and you're like, hey, Mom, I'm going to be this character. Will you listen or talk back? Do you run through your lines with her?
Ooh. All the time.
All the time. That's true.
Oh, really? I should.
That is so fun. So let's see. You got Color Purple, and you said there's another movie we can't really talk about, but there's that one. Do you have some? How about this? Do you have any favorite moments when you were filming a movie? Like something cool happened, you met a certain person, or something happened really neat on the movie set?
Mr. Brown is my favorite.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well, that's cool.
And Dr. I think he's my homeboy.
Okay.
Dr. Oh, okay.
Uh-huh. You're just an amazing kid. I wanted to talk about one more thing before we got off. I just saw in my notes here. So we talked about He Never Fails. Lil Boss. Can you give me some? That was a song that came out before He Never Fails, right?
Yes, that was one of the very first songs.
One of the very first songs. So that kind of would be a good picture of how you really started in the singing process.
Yes, Lil Boss is the first. So you will hear on Lil Boss that his words definitely wasn't clear, but it was really fresh when he started talking. So and we wasn't even looking to continue music. He just like now he feel like watching things repetitively. Mm-hmm. But so when he heard himself, he'll just listen to it. He loved music, and he's always been a little boss, because even, what he was doing in the beginning, like doing hair things and people modeling in the clothes, he didn't have to speak. So always, he used to hear a lot, you're a little boss, it's okay. And that's how that really came about, because he was doing things. He always was around encouraging words, and like he was boss. He just was. He was definitely the boss, and he's always been the youngest in just about all the industries he's been in, and they always called him Lil Boss. Up to this day, he's Lil Boss.
It's a very fitting title when you think about it, because we talked about his hair and his overall demeanor that attracts people, right? And so for you just to be you as boss man, right? And people come up and go, "You're Lil Boss." You didn't have to say anything in those moments. You were understood by being the way you were, and that is super cool.
Yeah.
And now the words are coming along, and you can kind of really express how you're feeling and make those connections.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
So just brought everything to life with him. Like even when it's maybe Community Appreciation Month, he has police suit, EMT suit, in any costume, but they're realistic looking, and he goes out and really interact with them. Like even when he go to the fire station, he went last week or so. Because they kind of know him in our city now.
Mm-hmm.
He actually goes into the bed, like into their office, and he gets tours. I mean, he really gives back. He really gives back.
Yeah, I saw him. He had a Walmart vest on in a recent post, I think, and he
was they love
interacting.
him at Walmart too. They gave him like. No, that stuff is real. Like that's not a costume.
Yeah. That's genuine.
The hat, that is real.
That is so neat. It's such a cool experience, and for for him to integrate with society like that, and just to literally get on everyone's level, right, and say, I'm here with you.
Yes, and remain silent, because that's what he wants. That's what he likes to do.
I love that. Well, Tah'Chon, will you keep us up to date and keep us updated and through your mom, because I know you're not probably texting right now, but have your mom kind of keep us up to date, and when some things come down the road for you, would you like to come back on the show?
Yes.
Excellent. Yeah, we'd love to catch up with you another time and fill everyone in on how it's going, because you got a nice long road ahead of you, and we can't wait to see what it's going to look like. Does that sound good?
Can you play your drum in one of my songs?
Absolutely. We'll stream your songs, and we'll watch your movies, and we'll read your book. And
I think he's asking, can you play your drums in one of his songs?
Can I play my drums in one of your songs? Got you. That's super nice of you.
Yes.
I will tell you this, just to be totally transparent. So when I was your age, let's see, 7. Yeah, I was actually playing the clarinet about your age, and then I started the drums a little bit later, and then when I was a teenager, that was when I was really playing the drums. And then what happened was I went to college, and I got married, and we had our first child, and I had this huge drum set. It took up almost the entire room, right? You've seen them. And I looked at my wife, and she looked at me, and she's like, well, we have a baby. Where are we going to put the baby's bed? And so what we ended up doing is I sold my drums and kind of went for a long time without playing. And I have some electronic drums now, and probably kind of like riding a bike, I could get back to it, but I would need to practice. Just like you need to practice, I would definitely need to practice before getting on one of your songs, because I would want to do my very best. Okay. He's giving me permission to practice. Okay. We'll work out the details and see what we can do. That's so fun. Well, it's been great talking with both of you. And Tah'Chon, I can't wait to see what's next. Absolutely. It was my pleasure. And keep us in the loop, and we'll talk again soon, okay?
Bye, Mr. J.
Okay. Bye. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.